So who here watching is old enough to remember when a hot, dope, hype, whatever you want to call it, new pair of sneakers was dropping on a Saturday morning? I'm talking 10 plus years ago. You used to have to get up hours ahead of the drop, head out to the store, standing in line for a pair of sneakers, which depending on your position in that very same line, you weren't even guaranteed to purchase. Meanwhile, your stomach's growling, you're probably starving because you skipped out on breakfast. And then at the front of the line, you got sneaker resellers flexing that very same pair of sneakers which you're standing in that line trying to get. So the game, it's always been the game. It's just kind of changed throughout the years with the introduction of apps such as StockX and GOAT. Reselling has become more popular than ever. But then after the pandemic, we saw the big sneaker resale bubble burst. And here in 2025, resale is definitely still here. It just kind of evolved. So today we're going to take a look at a clip of the current state of sneaker resale, but through the eyes of a Gen Z sneaker vulture.
Here's how Labubus in these Jordan White Cement 4s are a leading indicator that we're in a recession. The Jordan White Cement 4s recently just dropped on May 24th. This is the shoe in the peak of reselling culture, was selling for $627. However, after its recent release, it's only reselling on StockX for $229. That's only a $4 increase from the retail price. And coming from somebody who's been loving Jordans ever since I was in high school, this silhouette of Jordan is something that's iconic and should be selling for a lot more. And on the flip side, if you look at resale stores, they're not actually selling shoes or clothes. The number one product that they're selling right now are fucking Labubus. If you didn't know, Labubus are these toys right here that you can accessorize with your bags or even your outfit. They retail from anywhere from $20 to $30 and they resell anywhere from $40 to $60. The reason why this is an indicator that we're in a recession is that people are not dropping big bucks on high ticket items anymore. They're not buying the Jordan 4 White Cement 4s. They're not buying these crazy reselling shoes. Instead, they're opting out and getting that same sort of fix and high off these little cheap toys that only cost them $60.
So what is a Labubu? I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. I'm a little bit out of touch right here, so we're gonna have to figure this one out on our own right here. So pictured here, I guess, is what they're calling Labubu. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. So they appear to be these like little cute furry dolls. I guess you could attach to stuff, you know, new accessories. And it looks like the Labubu craze is definitely a thing, as apparently we have hype Labubu collaborations in store. As you guys see, we have the Carhartt work in progress right here. So I'm absolutely blown. I guess I must be living under a rock or something, because I actually had no clue that these existed. But I ain't gonna lie, the more I look at them, maybe I'm missing out. I kind of want one now that I see it right here. So I guess the Labubu craze is a real thing, and people are out here going crazy for these so much that they're even out here paying resale, as we see here right on StockX. You guys see the prices listed. People are paying above retail for these little toys right here. So are these really that hot? I kind of look at this as almost like, let's say, the whole Stanley craze, you know, where they drop these limited availability things. You know, they're spreading the awareness all over social media, and it's kind of a craze, which the whole Stanley thing is kind of came and went. But actually, you know what? This kind of reminds me of like Beanie Babies. Y'all remember them joints back in the day? It's kind of like the whole Beanie Baby wave. But as far as these Labubus, while they do look kind of cute and everything like that, I think I'll just go ahead and save my money on this one. So as far as this latest trend, you know, when it comes to like the sneaker vultures, we see them dipping into all type of different things. You know, Vultures, they dipped into the whole like card flipping thing and everything, sports cards, baseball, football, basketball cards type of thing. Plus the Vultures, the resellers, they're even taking things to extreme measures, as we see right here. You got two grown-ass men out here fighting over Pokémon. Now, the Vultures, I ain't gonna lie, they taking things to a whole nother level right here, because I thought Pokemon was for the children, but it looks like you got these scalpers, resellers out here fighting, trying to grab Pokemon cards so they could try to like pull a lucky card or something like that to go ahead and flip it to somebody. So I know I got like one of them Charizard cards sitting around from back when I was like 10 years old or something like that. Hopefully I could dig that joint out the vault. But as far as this behavior, this is completely unacceptable, and I guess this is what y'all out here doing now in 2025. So that's where we're at now. According to that clip, the dude said that, you know, the cement fours we're in a recession as far as sneaker reselling, because this sneaker isn't reselling like it once was previously. And he gave an example as like the sneaker was selling for like $700 at one point back in the day. But what he failed to mention was that's actually the 2016 version, which we've seen this sneaker re-release, you know, different times throughout the years. But, you know, guys, here in the sneaker game, each sneaker counts for its own different version, just due to the fact that these shoes, they don't hold up as they would over time. Plus, some people look at the other versions as being a little more, you know, exclusive than others. And with a restock such as this one, you know, due to the fact there's no resell, I guess the Vultures are saying that people are moving on to other hobbies and everything. But I don't really see it that way through my lens. I take a look at this shoe right here, a sneaker which Nike massively produced. And they actually made enough pairs to go around, but just not enough to the point where there's still people trying to get these, paying a little bit above resale. So that's just kind of where we're at right now. Sneaker like reselling, the big bubble was kind of during the pandemic. Now that that's bursted, the Vultures seem to have moved on to other hobbies like, what is it called? Labubus. And flipping Pokemon cards and stuff like that. So that's kind of the current state of sneakers. Of course, there are still limited releases that we see Nike dropping. And those are the ones that the Vultures, the resellers, are still taking full advantage of. But for a pair like this, I think Nike, Jordan Brand, they did an incredible job making enough pairs for everybody to go around. And just because this sneaker isn't reselling for like double the retail price doesn't mean it's not a great shoe. This is an iconic classic. As far as the resale prices on these, let's just go ahead and check it out because I haven't really looked at it. So let's see, 10.5 going for $250. Not bad. Let's see if you was to sell them joints. How do you switch it over? Sell. So if you was to sell at 10.5 right now. See, they even make sure you have the 2016 or the 2025 version. So the current ask price is $230. And if you were to sell them joints right now on StockX, you'd be making around $200. So I see why the resellers are salty. Bruh probably went out here and bought up a whole bunch of these joints right here thinking they were gonna be a quick flip like that. But as far as the resellers, it looks like they are taking losses currently selling these joints via StockX. So is it the fact that this shoe is just not as hot as it once was? Is it the fact that we're in a sneaker resale recession? Or are resellers just upset that these joints aren't a quick flip? I would imagine that this is a sneaker which over time would go up. But as of right now, it looks like resellers are taking an L on this one. So what do you guys think about the current state of sneaker resale? Are we in a recession, or are things just normalizing to once they once were back before this whole big sneaker resale thing became popular with StockX and Go? Comment down below, man. And as far as your sneaker experience, your journey throughout the years, let me know if any of you guys were old enough to remember back in the day when we used to have to line up for them joints. Then they added in like the whole little raffle ticket system and everything. Releases became exclusive to online, but now we're starting to see some releases open up back again, and people are outside again for these shoe drops. But as far as the resellers, seems like they're complaining, as it really all depends on just stock numbers and how exclusive a lot of these drops are. So drop your feedback down below. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe. And if you enjoyed today's video and made it all the way through the end, go ahead and drop a salute. I'll catch you guys next time. I'm out. Love. Salute.